These are 5 players that I think have a good chance to break out in 2023. These are not like just my top candidates at all, honestly. So just a quick disclaimer: these are 5 players that I chose to talk about. It is not me. I think these guys are the top 5. Just 5 players I think have a real chance of doing it. If you guys want to see more, because there are plenty of other people that could break out this year, obviously, I can do a part 2, part 3, part 4, whatever you guys want to see. But these are the 5 players we're starting out with for this video, though. So we have Derek Stingley, Christian Watson, Dax Hill, Bijan Robinson, Sam Howell. I want to get it out of the way, kind of up front, who we're going to be talking about, because I'm going to spend a little bit of time on each one. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on each one, because I want to keep the video, pretty fluid, not linger for too long, especially with Sam Howell, because I actually have an individual video on him specifically, I think, ending out, actually, our player prediction series. But first off, for Derek Stingley Jr. Now, for those of you who don't know who he is, he was picked 3rd overall just last year. It was a little bit of a debate, kind of like who would you rather have, Stingley or Sauce. Obviously, you guys can see Stingley's stats. Sauce had the by far way better year, but that does not mean that he's the way better corner, because Stingley, I know he dealt with injury, and I want to say it was a hamstring injury. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at least to some degree last year he did have a hamstring injury. Other than that, it was just 35 solo tackles, 5 passes defended, and 1 interception. Again, there's not a whole lot to kind of base next year off as far as the stats go, but something I think is going to be monumental for him is the head coaching change in Houston. Getting D'Amico Ryan's their head coach, very defensive-minded head coach. I think it's really going to help Derek Stingley. I think, honestly, obviously the injury is very unfortunate, and some of it, honestly, I don't think was his fault. I think he was used very incorrectly. Not a great scheme for him. I think with the kind of revamp going on in Houston on both offense and defense, getting Stroud, getting Will Anderson, Stingley going into his 2nd year, I expect a big step up from this. I would honestly go as far as saying 5 interceptions next year. I have a lot of faith in Derek Stingley Jr. There's a reason he was the 3rd overall pick and was being kind of rivaled with Sauce. I think he can do it. Not really a doubt in my mind, honestly. I think the next year will definitely be a step up for him if he's able to stay healthy, which, again, hopefully he will be able to, but it's kind of hard to know that. But I think there's a ton of potential there. All right, guys, and next is Christian Watson. Now, he finished the season with 611 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. He also had 7 rushing carries for 45 yards, and I think it says 2 touchdowns there, or maybe 46 yards. You can really see that, just kind of, same thing, basically. Watson, I think, has a beautiful opportunity to break out in a big way. I'm talking over 1,000 yards, probably about 7 touchdowns again, maybe more, maybe less, who knows. But I think definitely over 1,000 yards. He is on a Packers team that just saw Aaron Rodgers leave for the first time, it feels like forever. Literally, I think, almost my entire life. So it's going to be quite the change in Green Bay, and I think Watson is definitely their wide receiver 1 of the future. He had a very solid rookie year, especially in the second half. As you guys can see, as far as, just the first few games, it was a little slow. Started to pick up around Dallas. That was his biggest game first. Then again, the Eagles. And then after that, he finished season strong with 104 against Detroit. Now, he's not putting up these crazy 150-yard weeks, fairly consistently. And I'm not even saying he'll be able to do that next year, but he has a great opportunity to, because he is, in my opinion, the best wide receiver on that team by far. I mean, Jordan Love is going to find Christian Watson on the field, and he's going to get a lot of targets. You remember you have Dobbs as well. I believe you also drafted Luke Musgrave at tight end, I'm pretty sure. And, of course, you still have Aaron Jones out of the backfield, and you still have A.J. Dillon out of the backfield as well, though he's not as big of a threat out of the backfield as Aaron Jones is. So I think Watson is primed to really get a ton of targets. I think he's going to capitalize. He's super, super fast. You could see him really kind of growing and getting more comfortable as the year went on last year. Of course, he had that big play against the Eagles, whenever Jordan Love actually came in and threw that kind of slant crosser route to him. He just took off, outran everybody else, and that was a touchdown. So I expect a pretty big year for him. I think in fantasy football drafts, he's actually going relatively high. I'm not sure like wide receiver number what, but it is probably in the upper half of receivers as far as probably top 30, I would say, around there. I don't think he's being taken behind some backups. I think he's probably top 30, top 25, and I think he definitely has potential to be top 15, honestly. Will that happen? I don't know, because of Jordan Love. He's pretty unproven. I think there's definitely potential there, but I think at the very least, Christian Watson will have a pretty big year. The next player is Dax Hill. Now, I mean, looking at this, you're probably thinking, why in the world does this guy, have the opportunity to break out? Now, if you don't know, he was picked last year as the 31st pick in the draft. And the reason being for my thought process with him being able to have a huge breakout year is because he was behind Jesse Bates, Von Bell last year. Didn't get a whole lot of minutes. Looked pretty solid in preseason when he did, and I believe in the regular season he did break up, and that's preseason as well. I can't really remember, honestly. It looks like it was probably just preseason, but he definitely showed some flashes there. But now you have Jesse Bates going to Atlanta and Von Bell going to Carolina, which means Dax Hill is definitely going to be a starter next year. The AFC North is incredibly competitive. The Bengals, I think, will have a relatively difficult schedule, and Dax Hill will have to prove that he should have been the 31st pick or maybe even higher, and I do think he will. I really think he's going to kind of thrive in that system that Lou Anarumo has there in Cincinnati. I mean, you were making Eli Apple look like a pretty good corner, and I know he's not horrible and he's kind of overhated, even though he is very annoying. I think the system definitely helped him out. I think it'll help Dax Hill out a lot, and I could see him having a very good year. Not like top safety in the league type stuff, but proving that he's actually going to be able to be the starter at that position for years to come. That's probably what Cincinnati wants to see as well. They don't want to draft another safety or trade for one or sign one in free agency. They're hoping Dax Hill is their guy, and I really do think he will be, because he, at the very least, is going to have a lot of opportunities to prove to them that he will be. And then next is Bijan Robinson. Now, this is pretty crazy to pick him as a breakout player because he is a rookie. He has not even seen the field before. I mean, I know you guys saw Dax Hill. I think he had like 11 tackles. There's nothing for Robinson. He hasn't stepped on the field yet, but he is just one of the most hyped up running back prospects in a very, very long time. His ability to catch out of the backfield, break tackles, just really explode off of tackles. I mean, it's just he is a really generational prospect at running back, in my opinion. I think he's gonna be incredible, which really sucks because I'm the Falcons and I'm a Panthers fan and I really don't have to play him 2 times a year, but that's just gonna be how it is. But I think Bijan Robinson is going to have a monster year. He's being taken like 7th overall in fantasy football drafts, I believe, right now, which is absurdly high for a rookie that has not seen the field yet. But there is just unbelievable potential. He's in a great offense. I mean, this man, he's going to get a lot of touches, whether that's receiving wise or rushing wise. I think Bijan Robinson's name kind of speaks for itself at this point. Everybody knows what he can be and what he probably will be. In my opinion, I think he definitely will be his potential. Will he maybe crack that next year? You never know. Sometimes it takes him a year or two to adjust, maybe even more for some players. And then, in Geno Smith's case, many years later, but it works out. Bijan, though, I think is going to be a very quick impact in the NFL. And I think he's going to be one of the top running backs in the league pretty instantly. So he is definitely one of my bigger breakout candidates. And then finally, I'm going to do Sam Howell. I think he actually has a pretty good chance to have a very good year. Now, he came in against the Cowboys when they were already winning, but he actually looked pretty solid. He threw well. He looked accurate. He had a great deep pass to, I want to say it was Terry McLaurin, but I could be wrong. He also had a touchdown and an interception. But, I mean, for his first game that far in the season, it's pretty impressive. And Washington does not have the worst team in the world. Obviously, McLaurin is kind of the leader of that offense. But, you have Brian Robinson, who, honestly, there's a case for him even being a breakout player if you think about it. But, Howell has him. He has McLaurin. He has Curtis Samuel. He has Jayon Dotson. I think he's going to actually have some pretty solid weapons around him to really be able to make a statement, and I think he will. I think Howell is a great quarterback. Washington is in a very tough division, though, like the Bengals. The last year, I believe, was the best division in football, so it's not going to come easy. It's definitely going to be a tough kind of transition for him in his first full year, facing the Eagles and Cowboys and Giants 2 times a year. But I think whether it's immediate or not, I think he will pick it up and he will actually prove that he is the starter for years to come. I like Howell a lot, and that's just honestly all I have to say about him. Guys, let me know down below if there's anybody you actually disagree with as far as maybe them not being ready to break out or maybe never breaking out or whatever you guys think there. In my opinion, I think these are just 5 players that I think have a very good chance of it. Once again, these are not my top 5. I could do a top 5, but again, Bijan will definitely be in that top 5. I can still do the video though. If you guys want to see a part 2 with 5 more people, I can definitely make it happen because it was honestly pretty hard kind of cracking down to these 5 players. So there's a lot of others I want to talk about. But if you guys want to see it, let me know down below. I do other NFL videos like NFL 2S videos. We do week picks when the season's going on. We're doing a player prediction series in the offseason right now. And then we're also doing a team prediction series when it gets closer to the season. Probably starting that in a few weeks. Then going right up to middle preseason, I think, was when we'll be done with that. And then as far as Madden videos, I still do those as well. Madden 23 is slowing down with Madden 24 coming out next month, August 15th. So you guys already know, as soon as that drops, we're doing no money spent, gameplays, pack openings, all that kind of stuff. So if you like football, in, you know, really any format, NFL, Madden, video game, real life, whatever it may be. Subscribe to my channel, it's all football content. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.